Hello friends, in this video lecture we will see the concept of PN junction diode. So basically in this video we will see the basic idea of the forward bias. Then we will see the basic idea of the reverse bias of PN junction diode. Then we will see the VI characteristics of a diode, that is voltage and current characteristics of a diode. So this diagram is showing the basic idea of the forward biasing. This is a PN material, that is a positively doped material and negatively doped material. So obviously positive ion means the holes and negative ion means the electron. Here on the positive P type there are so many holes and few electrons, and here in N type of material there are so many electrons and few holes, that is P. So here few N, here few P. Now whenever this P type of material is given a positive supply and whenever this N type of material is given a negative supply, so in this case a narrow depletion region will be created between the junction of P and N. So basically this narrow depletion region is like this. This electron wants to travel to this part of the circuit. So there will be electrons on the positive side and holes will try to move this side of the PN junction diode, that is the holes is denoted by the positive terminal. So this is the positive. So this is negative, this is positive. One narrow depletion region is formed, and if we supply the enough forward voltage, then it will cross this junction and current will flow in this direction from the battery's positive terminal to the battery's negative terminal. So this is a PN junction diode when connected in forward biasing condition. Now let's discuss the PN junction diode is connected in reverse biasing condition. So again we have taken one P type of material, we have taken one N type of material, but now this P type of material is connected with the battery's negative and this N type of material is connected to the battery's positive. So opposite connections are made. This connection is known as the reverse biasing connection. In this case of reverse biasing connection, so many free electrons will be formed at the P type of material, because here it is a negative terminal, so all the electrons going away from the battery is collected at the P type of junction, P type of materials junction, and all the positive terminal is connected to the N type of material, or you can say that at the junction where the N type of material ends. So here the wide depletion region is formed, and so at the normal forward voltage, or you can say that at the normal voltage equal to the forward voltage in reverse biasing condition, it will not allow to flow any current through it. But if you allow the more voltage than the applied forward voltage, then this will break this depletion region and current will flow in the opposite direction, and the opposite direction, that means now current will flow from this direction. Before it was flowing from this direction, now it will flow from this direction. So this was the reverse biasing condition. So in reverse biasing condition, no current will flow in the normal voltage, but if you apply the voltage more than the breakdown voltage, then and then current will flow through this junction. So these are the diode models. This terminal is denoted as the positive terminal, this terminal is denoted as the negative terminal. If positive terminal is connected to the battery's positive terminal and negative terminal is connected to the battery's negative terminal, this is known as the forward biasing condition. Here you can say that this is the positive terminal of a diode, this is negative terminal of a diode. If positive terminal of a diode is connected to the negative terminal of the battery and positive terminal of the diode, and negative terminal of the diode is connected to the positive terminal of the battery, this connection is known as the reverse biasing connection, and one resistor is connected to maintain the current flowing through the diode. In this case, current will flow from the battery's positive to the negative in this direction, and in reverse biasing no current will flow. Now let's discuss the VI characteristics of the diode. So how you will understand the VI characteristics of the diode? First, you need to draw the x-axis and y-axis. On the positive x-axis, forward voltage; on the negative y-axis, reverse voltage. On the positive y-axis, forward current, and on the negative y-axis, reverse current. Positive, negative, forward, forward, reverse, reverse. So initially, if you increase the forward voltage, no forward current will flow. But as soon as this current reaches its knee voltage, here it's a knee voltage. So as soon as this voltage reaches the knee voltage, and if you apply the more voltage than knee voltage, then suddenly current will start flowing in the forward biasing condition. So this region is known as the forward region. In the same way, if you apply the voltage at the reverse biasing condition, so till this point is known as the breakdown point, and this region is known as the reverse region. So at this breakdown voltage, till the breakdown voltage is not achieved, no current, or you can say very less current, will flow through the reverse biasing condition, and that current is known as the leakage current. That small current is known as the leakage current. But if you increase the voltage more than this breakdown voltage, then suddenly current will increase in the reverse direction. So this is known as the VI characteristics of a diode. Now let's see the VI characteristics of the PN junction diode for different material. If the diode is made up of different material, then how this characteristics is established? So you can see this diagram: forward voltage, reverse voltage, forward current, reverse current. For the germanium material, the knee voltage is very less, and at the small amount of voltage even current is increased suddenly. And in the reverse condition also, the reverse voltage is here. Reverse voltage is here, and after this voltage current will increase in the reverse direction. If we talk about the silicon material, so the knee voltage is more than the germanium, and at this knee voltage, after this knee voltage, current will suddenly increase in forward direction. And in reverse direction, you can see that also the reverse breakdown voltage is more than the germanium in case of silicon, and after this voltage current will increase in reverse direction. So this was the VI characteristics of the germanium and silver. So rectifier is made up of different type of conditions, or you can say that the different types, rectifier is having different types. But before going to the different types, let's understand what is the block diagram of the unregulated power supply. So unregulated power supply, or even you can say that the UPS system. Let's understand the block diagram of the unregulated power supply, that is UPS. So some electronic device need a DC voltage in their input or for their operation. So the DC voltage is obtained from the single phase AC mains. So if we have the single phase AC mains, that is the AC supply, but it is of the 230 volt. So what we need to do is we need to step down that voltage, because our requirement in DC will not be the 230 voltage. So according to our requirement, we will step down the given voltage to the required voltage. So this is the stepped down voltage. Now this step down voltage is given to the rectifier circuit. Rectifier circuit will convert the alternating current into the unidirectional current, bidirectional current into the unidirectional current. So you can see this waveform. So current, which was firstly half in positive and half in negative, now in both the cycle the current is in positive. But still, this is not perfect direct current because it is fluctuating. It is obviously in the single direction, but it is fluctuating. This is known as the rectified voltage. If you use the filter, so by using the filter, you will get the filtered DC voltage. So that means approximately near to the DC voltage. So this was the basic concept of the UPS system, and that's why we need the rectifier to convert the AC voltage to the DC voltage. Let's consider the polarities of the transformer voltage. If we are considering this transformer is having two windings, primary winding and secondary winding. These are the two terminals given to the supply, that is the line and neutral. If we give the line to the positive of the coil, primary coil, and neutral to the negative of the primary coil. So in this case, if positive to positive and negative to negative is given to this coil, then this is the input and you will get the output like this. Now if you give line to the negative of the coil and neutral to the positive of the coil. So reverse connections are given to this transformer. So that means in positive cycle we are not giving any voltage, or you can say that we are only talking about the negative cycle because we have connected in reverse condition. So in the output side also you will not get any voltage at the positive cycle, you will only get the voltage at the negative cycle. So if you give this type of supply, you get the output at positive. If you give this type of supply, you will get the output at negative only. Now let's discuss the different type of rectifier circuit. So rectifier circuit is having two types, half wave rectifier and full wave rectifier. In this video, we will discuss the half wave rectifier. So this is the basic of half wave rectifier. What are the components used for the half wave rectifier? We need one step down transformer which step downs the input voltage to the required Vs voltage. We are using one diode. Diode will work as a switch, and we are using some load resistance, that is RL, and we will get the output voltage VL at that terminal RL. So now let's see the working of this half wave rectifier. So whenever the supplies positive is given to the diode's positive and supplies negative is given to the diode's negative. So at this condition, diode will behave as a forward bias in the positive half cycle, and diode will work as a closed switch. So the current will flow through this circuit. So if current will flow through this circuit, then we get the half current in this condition. So current will flow in this particular direction. If we talk about the half wave rectifier for the negative half cycle, so in negative half cycle, now this terminal is negative and this terminal is positive. So negative terminal is given to the diode's positive terminal, and diode's negative terminal is connected to the positive terminal of the supply. So that means reverse biasing will happen, and reverse biasing of a diode, that means open circuit. So this diode will behave as an open circuit and no current can flow through this circuit. So whenever the diode is in open circuit, so no current will flow and output is 0 for the negative half cycle. If we draw the waveform for the input and output voltage for the half wave rectifier, so we are drawing the waveform of the input voltage versus time t. So for the positive half cycle, you will get the output voltage between 0 to pi, where the diode is on. For the negative half cycle of the input voltage, the diode is off. That's why no voltage is obtained at the output voltage. This limit is 0 to 2 pi, and similar for the further cycles. That means for the next positive half cycle, diode is again turned on, so you will get the output from this limit, that is diode on. In again negative half cycle, diode is turned off. Diode is turned off, so no output is taken out. So you can see that we got the unidirectional output, which is nearly to the DC voltage. So in this video, we have seen the half wave rectifier. Now we will discuss the full wave rectifier. Thanks for watching.